On a silent night in early March, a promising young life was abruptly interrupted. The air was filled with the anticipation of spring, yet something far more sinister was unfolding. Eve Carson, a vibrant and gifted student, vanished from her off-campus residence in the dark hours before dawn, leaving behind a void filled with unanswered questions. The authorities responded swiftly, launching an exhaustive search that would soon unravel a narrative of unimaginable horror. As the investigation unfolded, it became evident that Eve's disappearance was not a simple case of a young woman stepping out into the night. Instead, it was the prelude to a heart-wrenching tragedy that would echo across the nation. Eve Carson was not just another student. She was a force of nature. Born on the 19th of November, 1985, in Athens, Georgia, she was a beacon of ambition and altruism. Her early years were marked by a relentless pursuit of excellence. In high school, her leadership shone brightly as she served as vice president of the student council. Her compassion was evident in her volunteer work at a nursing home and a refuge for abused teens. She demonstrated a keen intellect through her work as a congressional page and in a stem cell research lab, all while maintaining stellar academic performance. Her journey continued at the University of North Carolina, where she pursued a double major in political science and biology. Her academic prowess earned her a prestigious scholarship. On campus, Eve was a leader, a visionary who inspired her peers through numerous student organizations. Yet her influence extended far beyond the university's walls. Eve taught science to young minds at a local elementary school and committed herself to various volunteer initiatives, both domestically and abroad. Her summers were spent aiding doctors in Ecuador. She studied in Cuba for a semester and joined a research team in Egypt, leaving an indelible mark wherever she went. Eve Carson was a young woman on the brink of a brilliant future. By the time she reached her final year of college, she had already secured a position with a leading company, poised to succeed through dedication and passion. The night of March 5th was supposed to be ordinary. Her roommates left for a party, inviting Eve to join them. She declined, choosing instead to dedicate her time to academic preparations. When they returned in the early hours, an unsettling scene awaited them. The front door stood ajar, and lights blazed through the house, yet Eve was nowhere to be found. Her car, too, had vanished. Attempts to reach her went unanswered, leaving a growing sense of dread. As dawn broke, hope faded, replaced by the grim reality that something was amiss. A call to the police set in motion an investigation that would soon reveal a shocking discovery. Unbeknownst to Eve's friends, a young woman's body had been found earlier that morning. The chilling possibility that it could be Eve loomed large, casting a shadow over the community. In the wake of her disappearance, the nation grappled with the loss of a young woman whose potential was boundless. Eve Carson's story is a somber reminder of life's fragility and the profound impact one individual can have. Her legacy endures, a beacon of hope and a call to cherish every moment and every connection. For in the tapestry of life, each thread is precious and irreplaceable. The trail they uncovered painted a chilling picture. The transactions began just hours after Eve's untimely death, leading authorities on a winding path through the city. Purchases were made at convenience stores, gas stations, and a few fast food restaurants. Each transaction was a breadcrumb, leading the investigators deeper into the mystery of who had taken Eve's life. The first transaction occurred at a gas station on the outskirts of town, mere hours after the grim discovery of Eve's body. Surveillance footage revealed a shadowy figure at the counter, wearing a hooded sweatshirt and keeping their face obscured from the camera's prying eye. The person lingered just long enough to fill up the tank and purchase a few items before disappearing into the pre-dawn darkness. As detectives analyzed the footage, they noted the make and model of the car, a nondescript sedan that was not Eve's. It was a crucial lead, but it raised more questions than answers. Who was this person, and how were they connected to Eve? The next transaction occurred at a 24-hour diner, where the suspect casually swiped Eve's card to pay for a meal. Here, the surveillance cameras captured a clearer image of the individual, albeit from an unflattering angle. The suspect appeared to be a male in his mid-20s, but the grainy footage made it impossible to discern any distinguishing features. Back at the police station, detectives pored over the footage and transaction records, determined to piece together the puzzle. They expanded their search, canvassing the areas where the transactions took place, hoping to find someone who might have seen something, anything, that could lead them to Eve's killer. Meanwhile, the forensic analysis of Eve's abandoned car yielded a potential breakthrough. Investigators discovered a partial fingerprint on the driver's side door handle, a fragmentary clue, but one that held the promise of unmasking the killer. The print was rushed to the lab, where technicians meticulously compared it against a database of known offenders. The process was painstaking, but the potential for a match fueled the investigators' resolve. They knew that somewhere within the labyrinthine archives of the database lay the key to solving the case. As the investigation unfolded, the community rallied around Eve's family, offering support and solidarity in the face of unimaginable loss. Vigils were held on campus, where students gathered to remember Eve's vibrant spirit and to demand justice for their fallen friend. The campus, once a place of youthful exuberance and boundless potential, now felt shrouded in an air of solemnity and fear. The breakthrough came when the fingerprint matched a known offender, a young man with a history of petty thefts and minor infractions. His name was Alex Turner, and he lived just blocks away from where Eve's body was discovered. Quickly, a warrant was issued for his arrest. When authorities apprehended Turner, they found him in possession of Eve's missing phone, confirming his involvement in her murder. During the interrogation, Turner confessed to the crime, revealing a chilling motive. He had been in desperate need of money and had targeted Eve at random, seeing her as an easy mark. The revelation sent shockwaves through the community, a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the randomness of violence. Eve's murder had not been a crime of passion or revenge, but a senseless act of desperation. As the city mourned, the case drew to a close, leaving behind a legacy of grief and reflection. In the end, Eve's story became a poignant reminder of the preciousness of life and the unpredictable nature of fate, urging all to cherish each moment and to find strength in the face of adversity. The investigation into Eve's untimely demise unraveled a web of alarming discoveries. Merely 18 minutes after she last interacted with her computer, an unauthorized withdrawal of $700 was executed from her bank account, split between two distinct transactions. The attempts to extract further funds were thwarted by the account's daily withdrawal limit, a small mercy in a series of unfortunate events. The ATM that facilitated these transactions was strategically positioned near a bustling shopping center on the remote outskirts of town. Detectives, with urgency and precision, procured the security footage, hoping for a breakthrough. Their expectations were met when the video revealed a man, comfortably seated inside Eve's car, manipulating her card at the ATM. In the dimly lit back seat, a shadowy figure loomed, raising suspicions among investigators that it might have been Eve herself. However, the grainy quality of the footage rendered any positive identification impossible. Forensic experts endeavored to enhance the footage, applying every technological trick at their disposal, but clarity remained elusive. Simultaneously, the investigation uncovered that the suspect had embarked on a spree, attempting to exploit Eve's card at multiple ATMs scattered across the city. Regrettably, none of these machines were outfitted with surveillance cameras, leaving investigators in a frustrating deadlock. This pattern of elusive activity persisted until the 7th of March, when a new alert surfaced. At the stroke of midnight, a suspect attempted another withdrawal at an ATM nestled within a 24-hour convenience store. Although the transaction was declined, officers swiftly descended upon the scene in kind of hope for the beleaguered detectives. Upon reviewing the footage, investigators were met with a perplexing twist. The individual utilizing Eve's card was not the man initially captured on the first ATM video. This unexpected development presented detectives with two daunting possibilities. Either multiple individuals were complicit in Eve's murder, or the primary suspect had enlisted an accomplice by handing off the stolen card. Despite their best efforts, the quality of the footage once again thwarted any attempt at a definitive identification. Faced with dwindling leads and a trail growing colder by the minute, law enforcement turned to the public, releasing the surveillance images to the media in a bid to jog someone's memory. The case, already a magnet for public interest, soon inundated the police station with a deluge of tips. Yet despite the avalanche of information, none of the leads brought them closer to apprehending Eve's killer. A turning point arrived on the 12th of March, when an anonymous caller provided a pivotal tip, claiming to recognize the man featured in the second convenience store video. The name given was Demario Atwater. As officers delved into Atwater's background, their findings were nothing short of chilling. At a mere 21 years of age, Atwater's rap sheet was extensive, littered with multiple arrests for robbery, assault, drug-related offenses, and other transgressions. Despite serving time behind bars, he had been granted early release on several occasions, a testament to the flaws in the justice system. More disconcerting was the revelation, think a handgun while on probation. In the tapestry of human behavior, where darkness and light intertwine, the quest for justice often leads us down a winding road. It is a journey that tests the boundaries of perseverance, demanding that we look beyond the shadows to uncover the truth that lies hidden within. In the shadowed corners of a bustling city, a heinous crime unfolded, leaving a community in shock and a family in mourning. The investigation into the murder of Eve, a promising young woman, began with the cold precision of forensic analysis and the relentless pursuit of justice by the authorities. The first lead emerged from the grainy black and white surveillance footage of a nearby convenience store. Investigators scrutinized the images, comparing them meticulously to past mugshots stored into the spotlight of a murder investigation. His proximity to the crime scene was more than mere coincidence. He resided just a stone's throw away from the store, a fact that fortified the detectives' resolve. With a sense of urgency, they descended upon Demario's abode, their minds focused on unraveling the truth. Despite his vehement denial of any involvement in Eve's untimely death, the damning video evidence was sufficient to place him under arrest. Yet the case was far from over. As detectives delved deeper, they stumbled upon another thread, a connection to a 17-year-old named Lawrence Levet. Lawrence, despite his youth, bore the weight of a criminal past. His mugshot revealed a startling truth. He was the individual seen driving Eve's car in the ATM surveillance footage, a revelation that added layers to the unfolding mystery. In the confines of his home, forcing law enforcement to escalate their response. The SWAT team was called into action, and after a tense standoff, Lawrence was apprehended. He, too, denied any wrongdoing, but the mounting evidence painted a different picture. Both men found themselves behind bars, charged with crimes that would see them face the full weight of the law. As they awaited their day in court, investigators turned to technology to solidify their case. Cell phone records provided a crucial breakthrough. On the night of Eve's murder, both suspects' phones pinged off a cell tower near her neighborhood, despite their residences being in a different city. This digital trail insinuated a premeditated journey to a chosen victim. Detectives surmised that Eve had been selected at random, a victim of opportunity in a world where her solitude was her only crime. The ATM footage revealed a chilling sequence of events. Eve was coerced into driving her captors to various locations, forced to withdraw money until the daily limit of $700 was reached. Her ordeal ended in a secluded wooded area on the town's outskirts, where she met a brutal end. The gravity of the crime was met with the full force of the law. Prosecutors, determined to seek justice, announced their intention to pursue the death penalty for DeMario. Lawrence's fate was more complex due to his age. As a minor, the harshest sentence he could face was life imprisonment. Knowing the limitations of their evidence, prosecutors made a strategic decision. They offered DeMario a plea deal. If he confessed, the death penalty would be off the table. Faced with this ultimatum, DeMario succumbed, revealing the harrowing details of their crime. He recounted how Lawrence had proposed the idea of targeting someone on the university campus, a plan born out of desperation for quick cash. As they prowled the neighborhood, Eve became their target, a choice that would irrevocably alter their lives and end hers. Their intentions, initially framed as a simple robbery, devolved into a night of terror. Armed and determined, they invaded Eve's home, forcing her into her own car, a journey of fear that ended in tragedy. This confession, while illuminating the dark intentions behind their actions, could not undo the loss nor ease the grief of those who loved Eve. In the somber corridors of justice, the narrative of Eve's life and death serves as a reminder of the fragility of human existence and the unpredictable nature of fate. As the legal proceedings continued, society grappled with the moral complexities of punishment, redemption, and the eternal quest for justice in a world where darkness and light coexist in uneasy balance. In the hushed shadows of a dimly lit alley, a heinous act unfolded, one that would leave an indelible mark on the community and resonate deeply within the corridors of justice. Eve, a young woman full of promise and dreams, found herself ensnared in the clutches of two merciless individuals, intent on draining her spirit along with her bank account. Her pleas for mercy echoed in the chilling night air as she implored her captors to release her, vowing silence and only yearning for the safety of her home. Yet, their hearts were hardened, impervious to her desperate cries. DeMario, one of the perpetrators, later confessed that their fatal decision was sealed the moment Eve had seen their faces. In a cruel twist of fate, they had made no attempt to conceal their identities, as though their path was already set and irreversible. On a deserted street, devoid of witnesses and hope, Eve's life was violently extinguished. She was shot multiple times, the weapons a testament to the cold brutality of her assailants. In her final moments, she sought a sliver of humanity, asking them to pray with her. A poignant plea met with callous indifference. The execution was swift, devoid of compassion, a stark reminder of the depths of human cruelty. Justice, albeit delayed, was eventually served. In April of 2010, 2 years after the crime, DeMario stood before the court. His admission of guilt, part of a plea deal, spared him the death penalty, but condemned him to a life behind bars, with an additional 30 years for the weight of his actions. In a moment of contrition, he turned to Eve's grieving parents, offering apologies and acknowledging the fairness of his punishment. Lawrence, his accomplice, took a different path, refusing to accept guilt and opting for a trial that commenced in December of 2011. Despite his attorney's fervent defense, the walls of justice closed in, fortified by DeMario's damning confession and an abundance of incriminating evidence. The verdict was inevitable: guilty, sentenced to life imprisonment. Yet, Lawrence's tale twisted anew in 2013 when the State Court of Appeals overturned his sentence. A separate ruling had deemed life without parole for juvenile offenders excessively harsh, unconstitutional in its severity. A new trial was granted, and Lawrence seized the opportunity to voice his defense, proclaiming that mistakes were a part of human nature and attempting to shed the monstrous image that clung to him. But his declarations lacked authenticity, his remorse insubstantial, and once again he faced the same fate, a life sentence. The specter of past deeds loomed over Lawrence as whispers of another crime emerged from the shadows. In January of 2008, a mere few months before Eve's tragic end, a student, aged 29, had perished during a home invasion. The eerie similarity to Eve's case was unmistakable. Money withdrawn from the victim's account at various ATMs painted a familiar pattern. But the evidence was elusive, and the specter of justice could not pin Lawrence to this crime, resulting in the charges being dropped. Eve's murder transcended its immediate horror, sparking a national discourse and catalyzing legislative change. In February, North Carolina's lawmakers responded with decisive action, enacting stringent penalties and robust procedures targeting the scourge of gang-related crimes. This legislation, born from the ashes of Eve's life, took effect on the 1st of December, a beacon of hope and a testament to the resilience of justice. In the vast tapestry of human history, moments of darkness can illuminate the path to reform. Eve's tragic demise, though a singular act of brutality, ignited a flame of change, ensuring that her story would not merely be a tale of loss, but a catalyst for a more vigilant and just society. At a prestigious university, a scholarship now bears her name, a testament to her enduring legacy. Nearby, a serene memorial garden blooms in her honor, inviting reflection and remembrance amidst nature's tranquility. February of 2009 marked a poignant moment when one of Eve's closest friends emerged as a finalist on the renowned stage of American Idol. Before an audience of millions, he revealed how Eve's tragic departure had ignited a spark within him, compelling him to seize the opportunity and audition. Her indomitable spirit, he confessed, had instilled within him the courage and determination to pursue his dreams, a path he might never have dared to tread without her profound influence. Thus, her legacy lives on, not only in the scholarship and garden, but in the hearts and ambitions of those she touched, a reminder that a single life can ripple through the lives of many, inspiring dreams and nurturing courage long after it has passed.